Welcome to As We Go Along. I am your host, Brian Deershaw. We're back. After a little R&R, it's time to get back to the very serious business of being goofy. A couple weeks ago, my group War Tiger and I traveled out to Omaha, Nebraska for the Omaha Improv Fest. It was our first festival as a group, and it was super exciting. We met a lot of amazing people. One of those people we got to meet up with was the incomparable Jill Bernard of Huge Theater in Minneapolis. She is an amazing teacher, improviser, and just all-around human. She's one of my favorite people. If you ever get a chance to cross paths with her or take a workshop from her, please do. Don't pass that up. I also was lucky enough to be joined by one of my favorite Denver duos, Boss, which is Jessica Austgen and Lauren Bahlman. These two, I love them dearly. They're amazing on stage, and they're amazing on the microphones. We had a blast playing and recording this for you. I hope you have just as much fun listening. So let's not dawdle anymore. Let's jump right into it, and I will meet you right here on your podcast afterwards for the plugs. Enjoy!
Hello and welcome to Ghosts in the Attic podcasts. We are a band of ghosts who somehow found themselves with podcasting equipment. I am your host, Bernadine, and I am from 1902. Today on the show, we will be talking with some new ghosts who have found their way to the attic. Would you like to introduce yourself, please, our first guest?
My name is Rachel Barrington. 44 years old at the time.
Oh, right.
And I'm really happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. We're really excited to have somebody with that time period. We haven't talked to that era in a little while. Oh my gosh, it's already been 2 years. Really? And how did you get to your ghostly form?
Well, I was driving too fast. This is on me.
Right.
And I hit a post and my body was thrown into this building. I actually died in this home.
Oh.
I was actually coming. This is funny. You guys are going to laugh so hard. I was coming to do a tour of this mansion.
Right.
But I guess I toured it a different way.
Oh, yes. And for those listeners who don't know, we are speaking out of a plantation in South Carolina where we have been inhabiting this building since, as I said, 1902.
It's the Winford House.
Yes.
I was going to learn so much about it, but then I died.
Well, there's still time. Don't you worry. Thank you so much for being here. And next.
Well, I am just so excited that you are here, Rachel. Clementine Whitford of the Whitford Mansion.
But of course.
Oh, and I had a delightful 17 years here in this house until I just caught a little dampness of the lung and succumbed over 15 months of hacking and coughing.
Oh, dear.
But as an added bonus, I get to spend eternity in this palatial splendor, meeting fine people like Rachel and fine people like you.
Oh, well, thank you. And we're so happy you're on the show.
Oh, and I am just delighted to let you partake in the divinity of the surroundings.
Oh, be careful not to lean in too far there because your ghostly form will go into the microphone.
Oh.
It's a little strange to get used to, but you'll figure it out.
I keep trying to offer people juleps, and we cannot do it in a non-corporeal form.
Oh, no. And our male contingent.
Hey, I'm Randall Chubbs.
Hello, Randall. So good to have you.
I did some electrical work here in 1992.
Right.
And, well, I had a heart attack. It was unrelated to electrical work.
Oh, well... We're so sorry to hear that, but we are so happy that you have ended up here.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice place. Like, I mean, if you're gonna die, you want to go to paradise and look at the columns.
Oh,
like, this place
beautiful.
Darn near paradise.
Yes.
I mean, I miss my family, of course, but...
Well, yes, but you can still visit them. Have you done any hauntings? Is anyone a fan of hauntings? I personally am.
Oh, and I think this ties in just beautifully with what Randall was doing. Because my husband's third wife, after I passed and after the second wife passed, insisted on installing electricity. So I had the funnest time just flickering those lights on and off. She did not know what was happening.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Whitford, you are a hoot. You are just a hoot.
Rachel.
Looks like she could show you the ropes a little bit.
You know, I tried a haunting.
Did you?
The other Saturday night, I tried to go down to a small bar that's just on the highway here, down on highway. You probably know it, Randall.
Oh, yeah.
The Shake and Shake. Why do they say shake twice? I don't know.
But it makes you want... It makes
It makes
you
you
hungry.
It makes you want to
like
shake.
Eating a shake, and then you can also dance.
Shake it off.
I think
Shake
that's
off
what
that
they're
shake.
trying to
Yes.
say. It didn't go well, I'll be honest.
Oh.
I kind of got trapped in the ladies' room.
Oh, right.
Just making the toilet paper blow around. And that's all I could do. I couldn't move anything heavier.
Well, that's all right. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweetheart, these modern girls, they are frightened by the smallest thing. Seen a little toilet paper whispering in the wind?
See, it was a little too close to bar time. Nobody could even tell that anything was wrong.
Oh, well, I mean, as I said, I died in 1902, so I've been doing this I've been a ghost longer than I was a human being, and, you know, over time you just learn the fun methods of haunting. For instance, I was run over by a carriage, and...
I'm so sorry.
And if there's anything I love to do, it's sneak back into that old carriage house, which still exists to this day. Oh, I do.
Oh, I would have loved to see that on the tour.
Oh, I can take you later if you'd like.
you.
Yes, after this.
Look at the crown moldings at the
Right.
top of the stable.
I
You don't
will.
see that in carriage houses.
No,
But you go back to the carriage house?
I do, and I still make all those wheels squeak really loudly. Oh, whoops! I'm so sorry.
Non-corporeal pop.
I seem to have caused a little explosion without even trying over here. My apologies.
It happens. You just get excited. Like, I don't get to talk to ghosts very often, so, like, I'm just over the moon to be here. Usually I'm just stuck in the wires. Like,
Right. Well, and ghosts can be very territorial. You wouldn't think so, but they can be.
Well, go ahead, sweetheart.
I've been stuck in the vestibule. This is the first time I've been up to the attic.
Oh, dear.
I've never been up to the attic before. I didn't even know you were here. This is amazing.
Oh, well.
maybe I could come down to the vestibule sometime and, like, just go into the chandelier and visit you there.
Yes, that would
you
be
go.
phenomenal.
I don't want to be too forward, but if you ever wanted to step into the parlor and maybe get up in the tapestries, you could make them wiggle and wobble and possibly blow in the wind, Rachel. You're good at that.
Oh my gosh. Is that where you hang out mostly, the parlor?
It is. It's relaxing. It's luxurious. And I love the way my feet could have squished on the deep pile rugs. But I don't have any feet. Now, you all are new ghosts. I miss deep pile rugs. What do you miss most about being human?
Wow.
Probably, probably like a hot dog. Oh, and my wife.
Oh.
But really the hot dog. There was this place, actually near the Shake Shack, that made the best hot dogs.
Oh,
my
dog.
wife was a lovely person.
Are you speaking of dogs?
Yes.
Yes.
You know it.
Dogs by the Shake Shack.
That little
Yeah.
place.
Yes.
All beef hot dogs.
This town really loves
and nothing
repetition.
else.
It
really
helps.
loves
It helps
repetition.
with retention.
Yes, yes. But your wife, so she's still among the living?
Care is still alive. She, I did find out, because she came through for a tour recently
Oh.
Ooh, that must have been part of her healing.
with her new husband.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That was quick.
trollop.
That was quick.
And they were, how should I say, en flagrante
Oh, Randall.
in one of the servants' quarters.
Randall,
No.
I'm so sorry.
And I couldn't do anything but watch
Oh, I hope
are
through a
kidding
window.
me.
There's no electricity in that room.
Oh
but-
dear.
I suppose there was electricity in that room.
Oh, honey, you've got to find some other places to hang out. You can't watch that.
That's terrible.
That is disrespectful to the
is.
memory of her
It
husband, I
is.
think.
To be fair, she doesn't know. She found out later that I died. She didn't know I was here. So
All right,
she couldn't have-
okay.
she, she couldn't have predicted that I'd be watching and intently.
I think you underestimate the snaky mind of sneaky women, Randall. I'm not saying.
Like, that's impossible to be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying she did this as what revenge? Was she revenge for what? For
Well, like, first of all, if you have sex in a servant's quarters, I'm sorry, I don't mean to use that kind of language, but you have some kind of kink going on. So could your further kink be to have sex in a servant's quarters of a plantation where your husband died?
It was more common than you think.
It's taken it a little far.
I mean, people have some weird specific things, so I could see it. But I mean, why would she do that to me? We were married for 30 years.
It's true.
Before I died.
Randall, what I would say is I think you have an opportunity, if this happens again, to have a little fun. And by that I mean doing some of your ghostly tricks.
Like from the film, which I saw on cable television installed in the auxiliary parlor?
Yes.
Like in the film Ghost?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, he is
my
handsome.
gosh, that was so handsome.
I don't seem to have any power over clay, but so I don't know if the movie Ghost would help.
Well, if she goes to the bathroom, I will get her.
Oh, Rachel.
And she'll have
Thank
to
you.
go to the bathroom
Rachel will flutter that
eventually.
toilet paper, and
Yes.
it will frighten her.
See who has a heart attack then, Mrs. Randall's wife.
I mean, I can make the lights flicker. I'm really good at that. Sort of my specialty.
I just thought the electricity here was bad. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you.
I promise, like, I did finish the job before I died. So I can certify that 25 years ago, the electric works were up to code.
Well, all I can say is perhaps maybe next time they're doing the deed, one of the chandeliers just happens to fall from the ceiling.
Well, I just want to clarify for a moment, Randall, my love. You died 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And your wife and you were married for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a little long in the tooth to be having sex in servants' quarters, isn't that right?
Well, I mean, it never really goes away. We're all humans, no matter whether we're
Care still likes
18.
to get down.
I don't want
Yeah.
to age shame. I mean, I'm older than all y'all, but that just seems a little untoward for a woman of a certain
Very
age.
very untoward.
I mean, she seems very confident. The new beau, I will say, seems to be in his 20s.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Scandal.
So if there's scandal,
Hot dog indeed.
yeah. But part of me is like, good for you. Found yourself a nice young man,
A young man.
very young man, like 40 years her junior.
Wow.
Well, for those of you who don't know, since you're all new guests, here on the Ghost in the Attic podcast, we like to do a little round table where we all say the thing we miss touching the most in human life, since we now have no form in which to grab items. Like for me, I miss the feel of cool grass on my feet when I would stroll through the garden. How about you, Rachel?
I had a little cat that was so soft.
Oh.
I miss petting that cat.
Yeah.
Fluffers.
Oh,
Oh,
Fluffers.
Fluffers sounds
Such a
delightful.
cutie.
Oh, Fluffers.
Well, a lot of people enjoy the soft tickling sensations of things you can run your fingers over, but I like the cool press of a crystal decanter in my hand.
Oh, and this home is full of good crystal.
So much
Crystal everywhere.
Crystal. And for you?
Thinking about that hot dog,
Ah, it's back to the hot dogs.
it just felt proper, like it's proper
like a
size.
steamed
Right.
Yeah, the caress of a steamed bun.
Yes.
I'm sorry, both of those things were before my time. Steamed buns, hot dogs. Can you describe the taste sensation?
Oh.
Well, a steamed bun. You take a bread bun, and you put it over steam so that it's soft.
That's clever.
You surely in your time had like bread right out of the oven. I'm sure someone of your stature got to experience that.
I did know the scent of a warm loaf.
Yeah, it's warm and it's still a little moist.
Ooh, I see where you're going.
And a hot dog is a sausage.
I love sausages.
Yes.
But just like pure beef
Yeah.
and a little salt.
Yeah, it's like a common people's sausage.
Yeah.
Oh.
I myself only lived through adolescence and was only allowed scraps of lettuce. It was a very sad upbringing, so I never had the enjoyment of. It was a time when
wish
young
you
girls were
could.
expected to be very small,
Mm-hmm.
very petite. It's probably why it was so easy for a carriage to run over me.
Oh, you poor thing. You must have snapped in half.
I did.
Oh, I can see that.
Yes.
Look at her
Okay.
midsection. You
Yes.
can see right
Oh,
through
see,
it.
now I'm
Say
seeing.
anything. I didn't want to stare. But
Yeah.
The good news is I'm still one of the skinniest ghosts and intend to keep it that way because
Don't
we
e-
can't change now,
Yeah,
can we?
Don't even need a corset.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Cinch it
You
up.
you could probably slip through any crack, and I suppose you don't have to slip through cracks though. But it still
Don't,
seems
but
kind of
sometimes
useful.
I like to. Sometimes I like to. Yes.
It might be more frightening instead of like wisp coming through a keyhole and creating a figure. If the figure just came right through a crack, like you could do.
Indeed.
Boo.
And they don't expect it from a tiny woman, but there it is.
I have a question, if I may.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
Randall.
I was wondering, like, what's everyone's favorite scare? Like,
Oh,
because it's just
Randall.
so much fun. So much fun. Like,
And
You
it
know-
takes a lot of courage to pull off a good scare.
yeah.
Yes.
Planning too.
I myself have not pulled off any good scares, but I want one of you to fess up. Who is it? Or if it's not one of you, do you know who plays that haunting melody on the piano downstairs at night?
Oh.
Is that you, Camille?
It is not me, Rachel, but I know. I
It
know.
is haunting, and it sends shivers up my spine. And then when the piano lid slams like that, does anybody else hear that?
Oh, well, I don't want to tell any tales, but I
Oh.
will.
Mm?
That's Mr. Burgundy.
Mr. Burgundy?
Mr. Burgundy actually lives down in the basement.
Wow.
I haven't
Yes.
seen him in decades.
Well,
But he
no, he
slips
keeps
up
to
to the
himself,
piano.
but he still likes to find a melody.
Thank
Rachel,
you.
I should introduce you.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was so scandalous at the time. In the 1920s, a jazz musician was brought into the house
Wow.
as a lover for the lady of the house at the time. And her husband discovered Mr. Burgundy, and the lady, as Randall put it, in flagrante, on the grand piano. And pistols were drawn, and the rest is musical haunting history.
Yes.
Wow.
What a great story.
Oh, and you are part of the family now, Rachel. You're going to have scandals for you,
Rachel,
too.
wait till you meet him. He is just
Delightful.
the ghostly best.
Wow.
Yes.
What's your favorite scare?
What's your favorite
Oh,
scare?
Yeah, what's your favorite
there are
scare?
so many over the years. I think back in the 1950s, I had the pleasure of spooking a very young Elvis Presley.
Wow.
Stop it.
Yes, I did. He was a young teen, and I came up right behind him, and I was just admiring. He was in town. I was admiring that gorgeous head of hair, and I didn't mean to scare him. I was only going to admire him, but I think I whisked by him too quickly, and he felt my air around him, and he turned again, and he never saw me. But the look on his face, oh, I'll never forget it. He was
Wow.
scared and excited.
Oh,
Oh,
And I have
I'm
to. Oh, go ahead.
so jealous. I'm so jealous.
oh.
Okay.
Was he
And
like,
what-
whoa, ho?
That was a very good impression, Rachel.
Did the back of his hair actually look like a duck's butt?
Yes,
Because
it
I've only
did.
seen pictures.
It did. It was
Oh.
early, and it was gorgeous and full, and ladies and gents, that was a day.
And what a coincidence, because I was actually listening to a cassette tape of his greatest hits when I died.
Oh my, we have that in common.
So there's like an Elvis connection
The
going.
King connection, yes there is.
Wow.
I must have known that he had been here.
Oh, yes. Yes, he did.
My first husband, or only husband, was actually related to the King of Bavaria, if we're talking about kings.
Oh.
Wow.
That is very fancy. And what came of him?
Oh, he, the King of Bavaria?
No, your husband.
Well, he went on to marry again and again, as I explained, and then again and again, and
Oh my.
98% of the population of this county, Milford County, is related to my husband. 98% of the population.
98?
Yeah, some of his blood running through their veins.
Oh.
That's probably why sometimes when I come out to scare people, I'm like, have I scared you before?
Y'all look
You
alike
look
out
familiar.
there.
You look familiar. Yes, yes. Oh, well, now this has just been a lovely conversation. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
It's so nice to meet everyone.
Yes, and I hope to have you back again soon.
Oh, y'all come join me in the parlor. Maybe we can
I would love to.
stare at
I'd
some
love to.
biscuits later. Stare
And
at 'em.
Rachel, I will take you down right after this to meet Mr. Burgundy. You are going to love him. Well, thank you all so much for listening. This has been the Ghosts in the Attic podcast, and boo to you.
Boo to you.
That is going to do it for us this week. Jill Bernard, you can find her on Instagram, on Twitter. It's JillyB72. You can find her on Facebook, look her up. And if she's in your area teaching a workshop, really sign up. If she's not in your area, go get a copy of her book, Jill Bernard's Small Cute Book of Improv. It's my favorite improv book. I read it all the time. I've read it dozens of times. It's a great philosophy on improv. Very short and sweet, and very positive and uplifting, and always keeps me pointing in the right direction. So check that out. Boss, you can check them out on Facebook. It's Boss Improv, BAUS Improv. Jessica and Lauren are amazing. So look them up, and if they're playing, definitely go and see them. In fact, I believe I know the next time they'll be on stage together, and that will be on June 27th for Doppelgangers, my show, at 8 p.m. at Voodoo Comedy Playhouse in downtown Denver. You should go to that show. I've already got it booked out, and it's gonna be a hell of a show, y'all. So don't miss on that. Don't sleep on that. Come on out, get some drinks, and watch some amazing comedy. As for me, like I said, Doppelgangers, Tuesdays, 8 p.m., Voodoo Comedy Playhouse. You can go to the Voodoo Comedy Playhouse website or facebook.com/Doppelgangers Improv. That's DOPPELGANGERS Improv. For more information on tickets and whatnot. You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter. It's Brian Diershaw. Just my name. BRYANDIERSCHOW. Just that easy. If you like the show, if you like what I'm doing here, consider helping me out with a small monthly pledge on patreon.com. It helps small creators like me with operating budget, with the ability to upgrade equipment, and just keep it going and keep creating fun new things. The link is patreon.com/Brian Diershaw. So once again, if you figured out how to spell my name, you can find me. It's just that easy. Trying to make it easy for you guys. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you can help me out with anything, just to keep this going, because it's so much fun. If you can't help out with a few bucks, I totally understand, but if you still like the show, consider telling a friend, tell a family member, tell an administrator or an official. Just help spread the word and get more people listening to this funny, goofy stuff that we do here. This is your weekly reminder to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go and make something.